Hope you enjoyed this one. This is gonna be a double review. Maybe it's a W. This is a double review of Bleach chapter 634 and 635 right now. Like friends, basically. Right now we the first chapter is gonna be is the final battle between between Harsholt and Basby. Like we get more in the history, like basically like Basby, even though Basby was considered the better archer, Hoshwell, we know Hoshwell was a rare creature that was born once every 100 years or so. And around the same time after their friendship occurred, there was the Stern Ritters. The Stern Ritters started to appear. The Stern Ritters started to appear, like basically. Jawatch was making his move, conquering nations, having his hopefully making his final army. Already making preparations for Iron to conquer the Soul Society. So he started conquering countryside to countryside, using his army of Quincy's and the Stern Ritters. It was like his beginning. Even though Ashwell had no such talent, and Basky was the better archer. Like he was born with talent, Hoshwell didn't have any. But Hoshwell was a rare kind of Quincy born every century or so. So he had the potential, but he lacked the skill. Things became very thing until one day the Stern Ritter army came near their homeland and picked them up and fought. Like they were get destroyed their homeland to the ground to the point where they encountered the Stern Ritter. Then when your watch showed up and stopped the fighting, he was looking for Quincy to be his right hand man, to be his second lieutenant, to be his other half. He said. What was his other half? At first, it was Basby. Basby wanted to be the one who wanted to be his other half, but despite all of that, it was Hugo. Hodge chose Harshwald to be his second half. That was definitely not was definitely a change in the subject matter in a huge way. Well, for example, well, after that choice, everybody was like wondering why would you watch pick a child, but then the one that got the most out of this was Basby because Basby he challenged Hoshwald every day to a fight, and every day to a fight, Hoshwald would refuse. I don't know. Like they were friends, but after Watch chosen to become his right hand man, it seems like their friendship fell apart, kind of. Even though Basby was the rough and tough one, and Hoshko was the shy one, their friendship did fall apart. I mean, they were together for 3 years, even decades after having Hosen. After that, and he still remembers centuries. Basby, he still thought of their friendship, but yet now and like your watch has betrayed them. Like he's not gonna let Hoshwell stop it any longer. He's not gonna let being loyal to your watch. He doesn't have any loyalty now to your watch. Now that your watch has betrayed them and basically thought used them as cannon fodder and even ritual sacrifice to revive his own men. He doesn't give a damn anymore. He doesn't give a damn about Hoshwell anymore. He wants to fight. I've seen how Horsewell, he uses very little to no strength, but I'll get to that in a minute. We never seen Oswald fight at all, but this is the first time we want to see an aspect of his skills, and I'll get to that in a minute. I've seen Basby using his power. He using his burner finger. He uses two fingers. He uses three fingers. He uses his whole hand. He he uses everything, and yet Hoshwald uses his sword in such a fast pace and such speed to the where point where he does little to no effort at all, to the point where he literally, you know, he doesn't do it thing by slight movement, and he cut off his hand. He literally cut off his hand. He cut off Basby's hand with such finesse, as yet Basby still continues to fight to the point where he unleashes his burner finger, five fingers, even though he's missing a hand. Like his whole hand replaced by a flaming blade, literally. But Hoshua literally shoves him aside and defeats him with little to no effort. I mean, he's Juhabak's other half. You watch his second half. Yeah, so basically, you have there's a reason for that, and leaving him flying in a pool of blood and him walking away is him showing how much of a badass he could be. But then we get to the other chapter. Loretto and Zigra, the zombie one and the glutton, they're taking on Yowatch themselves, but they can't beat Yowatch. I mean, it's Yowatch. I mean, come on, he's powerful. He's the Soul King's son, the father of all Quincy, the Almighty. So basically, they have no shot. And as Zigra is dead, and Loretto about to die right now, you watch this, finally some peace. He's and one of the things that really caught my eye, hey, Hoshford has the same eyes as your watch. Remember when he first fought against Ichibe? The power lies within his eyes. His eyes can see everything: the past, the present, the future. So basically, your watch gave him a piece of his power to unleash making him his other half unleash the full scope of his strength to be able to predict his enemy's movements, to have some kind of godlike power. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I saw. Like if Yawatch called him his other half, from Yawatch, either he was born from Yawatch's family, and he inherited Yawatch's powers, or Yawatch knew that he had this skill in him all along as a child. That's why he sought him out. That's my theory. That's what I think. Like Yawatch knew this all along. Yawatch is always thinking ahead, strategizing, picking Quincy with particular powers. Remember, some of these Quincy's have abilities, like the ability to control flame, like we see with Basti. Then there's thunder, lightning. One has the ability to make fantasy reality with his mind, be able to scope the shadows, cause fear and panic within another person. Your watch probably not only can sense the Quincy's, but each of them probably having their own individual abilities. You know, like Soul Reaper, Sanpakuto, Shikigami, Sanpakuto, being able to have individual powers and individual skills for their own person. You know what? When he started the story, he set forth to conquer. He didn't make friends. He didn't want friends. He wanted soldiers, servants. He wanted an army to conquer. That was his goal all along. Meanwhile, let me scope out the rest of this chapter, chapter 635. Uh, right now, Ichigo and his group are fine. They defeated the enemy, but Askai is still fighting, trying to resist, Green Jiao. I want to see Green Jiao go all out against this guy. I want to see if he's achieved what you call a higher form to his soul release. So basically, I want to see if he gotten stronger. But Asuka, he basically taunts him, tries to run away, even throws something at him. Basically, he calls it a limp ball, but then things get dicey and it gets bad very fast. That's the point where didn't your mom didn't teach you? Didn't anyone teach you not to take anything from strangers? That's what you get for not listening to your mother. Him saying that to Jugo, the look on him saying that to Green Jiao, the look on Green Jiao's face at the moment, like that face looked like he was pretty pre-mad. He would look like he was annoyed, maybe pissed off enough, probably to unleash everything. And I want to see that. Then there's then there's this other guy, this another event, the Miracle. This guy who's a combination of Hercules and Hawkman, basically. Supposed to be like this gladiator or something. He's looking for the enemy, but he has nowhere to go. I mean, this guy is clearly all muscle, no brain. So basically, this guy's weak. And this guy being chosen as one of Juhabak's elite guard is beyond me. Then there's Renji. Then there's the other group that came with, Urahara Kisuke. Hey, they're being picked off by when another one of the elite guard. You know the guy that's also a sniper. That kind of reminds you of Karame. Reminds you of Karame and Dawi from Naruto. A little bit that guy. Like he uses a gun on sniper hunt for attacks. Like he says I'm picking them off one by one. He aims his gun at Shuhei. Aiming for his arm. Like literally shoots him right there. It's a hole straight through his arm. Then finally you get Kenpachi and Mayuri. Hey, Mayuri, he is basically he's so when it comes to his ego, like basically, like Kenpachi's asking, basically talking. Mayuri just ignores him because he knows that Kenpachi is not the smart type, and he's more of the fighter. He's a fighter through and through. He doesn't care, even though they're supposed to be together. Uh, it's obvious they don't like each other. They don't like each other in a bit. We all know they're not friends, and that part is obvious. But then things get very awkward. This mysterious cloak figure appears. It's small like a child, but I have a feeling who it is. I have a feeling who it is. Hopefully, it's someone for their side. I'm not gonna say who I think it is, but I have a feeling who it is. But as Pachi continues talking, and Minori just ignores him, saying, are you asking a question? Are you talking to yourself a question? And the chapter ends with Kapachi trying to cut this guy, this small guy, but then and he says stop, and he goes back. Like something else is wrong. Like he's not cutting him right away, but it just leaves more questions to be answered for next chapter. Basically, this chapter was a show off of what happened with Basby and Hawat, the Wat and Hoshball's battle. Then there's Loredo and Juhabak, which took less than a minute. And we always know Juhabak will win. And then there's Ichigo group. They're fine, but they avoided the enemy. The Askai and Green Chow. And shoot, Kisuke's group be picked up by one enemy and another enemy who's lost all muscle, no brain. I said that again. And finally, there's the last part. The last part being Kenpachi seeing Mayuri, seeing this cloaked figure, little man child. But I have a feeling I know who it is. Hopefully, it's a piece of the Soul King that got left behind. Hope you enjoyed this one. This is Solomon Adams gave my latest review on Bleach chapters 634 and 635. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you. Signing off. Bye.